Hello, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be unhauling some books because I have come to the conclusion that one, my book tastes have changed enough from when I started reading. Two, just because I like the book enough to finish it doesn't mean I should own it forever. And three, some of these books I'm never going to read. And four, I can think of some other people who might enjoy these more than I will. So we are parting ways. Some people do spring cleaning. Consider this my New Year's cleaning. Today is January 4th.
Not me posting this like 20 days later, lol.
And we are about to move forth and get rid of some books.
Bad joke. I apologize.
I have counted 17 books that I am getting rid of and 2 that are threading on thin ice here. Basically, if I don't read these in 2025, I will be getting rid of them by the end of the year. I guess we can start with those. It is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley and If He Had Been With Me by Lauren Allen. These are both books that I had once started and then put down, and that was probably about 2 years ago. So if I don't read them by the end of this year, this is me holding myself accountable that they will be gone. I know people love If He Had Been With Me, but I read the first page and I feel like I know how this ends. That part of me is like, why should I read this? So that was my reason for this. And then with The Paris Apartment, I really don't have a reason as to why I stopped. I just did. So now let's get on to the books that I actually am departing with. These are in no particular order, it's just kind of how I have them here. Starting off with the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I wanted to read Six of Crows when Six of Crows was like all hyped up on Book Talk. Then there was a group of people who were like, you should read Shadow and Bone first. And I did that, and I think it was a big mistake on my part because I was already a fan of the show, so like I understood the magic system a little bit more than I think someone coming into it completely blind would. I read Shadow and Bone. I got about 50% into Siege and Storm. Never read, I don't even know what this one's called, Ruin and Rising. So I will be getting rid of these. I can think of one person who might enjoy them, so she will be getting them if she wants them, of course. I'm not going to shove these at her though, like, take them. I love the movie Life as We Know It with Katherine Heigl and Josh Dunham. I'll pop it up on the screen. And this book is pretty much the plot of that movie. It is a godparent trip. I did read this. I believe I gave this like 3 stars at the time. I would probably say like 2.5 at this point because it was enjoyable enough. I just am never going to reread any of this. I just don't think I'm ever going to reach for this again or reread it. Like, I will watch that movie 10 times. I don't see myself ever picking this back up. Basically, our main characters are godparents to this little girl, and they have to raise her after her parents pass away, which essentially is the plot of that movie as well. Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey and then Happily Never After by Lynn Painter are 2 books that I remember literally close to nothing. I just remember like not believing the love story. So I am parting ways with these 2. I'm going to reach for them, taking space when I feel like I can think of someone who might enjoy these 2. Along with that would be The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I never even finished this, I don't believe. Again, very popular in like the early stages of Book Talk. Everyone talked about this. I just remember not liking it. I was very bored. Like I said, I don't even think I finished it. So there's that. Fatherland by Robert Harris. Wait, can I even show this cover? Basically a dystopian novel that takes place in a world had Mustache Guy won. And in theory, that sounded like very interesting and like it could carry a lot of weight and a lot of meaning. I did not like the writing. I found it to be very boring. I DNF'd this book about 30% in. I wanted it to be a lot more complex than what it was giving, so I DNF'd it. Here's another DNF. One Day by Devin Nichols. I believe I got like 90-ish. Here, the page is folded. 73 pages in. My friend recommended the TV show. I wanted to read the book before I watched the TV show. I could not get into the book. I tried watching the TV show. Could not get into the TV show either. So I'm going to see if she wants this book. Let's keep the DNFs going. The Very Irregular Society of Witches. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. There we go. I've come to the conclusion that cozy fantasy is not for me. I read this, I think, like, not last Halloween, but like 2 Halloweens ago. And I didn't finish it. And then by the moment that November hit, I was like, I don't want to keep reading this. So I just stopped. And I have no intention of ever picking it up again. My clue into that should have been when I read The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. And I did not like this. I did not like this. Because again, I don't think cozy fantasy is for me. I know people love this. I know people love that one. Not for me, babes. But I did finish that one. Erin Sterling is also Rachel Hawkins by like a different name. This is The Wife Upstairs. I have never read this. Some people say that it's like The Housemaid or like Verity. I bought this because people were saying that it was giving like Jane Eyre, and I love Jane Eyre, but I'm never going to reach for this. I'm really not. Like, I have other things I want to read before this, so again, I'll see who wants this. And any book that like no one wants, I'm just going to end up donating to a library. Like, if I can, we'll do that. Here's another one where my taste in books has just changed enough that I know I'm not going to pick this up anytime soon, if ever, that I'd rather just someone else have it. And it is Emma Lord's When You Get the Chance. This is YA, and I believe it's like her trying to make it in Broadway, and she has like a romance, question mark, I don't know, didn't read it. I thought the spine was cute, the cover was cute, and I feel like that's honestly why I bought it. I got this from Book Outlet, and it's one of those where like I just added books I wanted to reach like the $35 mark so I can get free shipping. I feel like that's why I picked this. It's another Book Outlet book that I picked. I did read this one though. It is Kate in Waiting. I just remember the dialogue and like the terminology in this being very cringe. I read this maybe like 2022, and the dialogue felt very like 2017. Like the amount of times the word fuckboy was in this book was crazy. That's all I remember. And it was like very diverse, and like it had every kind of representation to the point that like now looking back, like it was, well, I can appreciate that. It also sometimes feels like a little bit comical. Like I feel like you're just throwing in every single thing, every single identity just for the sake of saying like, oh yeah, my book is diverse. Like that's kind of what this felt like. This is also YA. This next one is Hooked, a Never After novel by Emily McIntyre. This is the first book in the Never After series. This is dark romance that is like fairy tale retelling. This is like a Peter Pan retelling where like Captain Hook gets the girl or whatever. I tried reading this for a video and I ended up DNFing it. I was not into it. I know some people really appreciate like spice and dark romance. I'm not one of those people. Like I had zero emotional connection to any character in this book, and I was not rooting for anyone. And I don't even think there was much of a plot. So I am getting it off my bookshelf. This next one is a book that I actually liked. Like me getting rid of it is not me saying, hey, I hate this book. I don't want it in my vicinity. It's just, I know I'm never going to read the other two in this series. And if I am, I'll read it on Kindle Unlimited. I'll get it from the library. I'll listen to the audiobook version on like Hoopla or something. And I feel like if someone wants to read this, they could. And I feel like someone else should read this. Someone else should enjoy this. I can think of a couple people who I could give this to. And it is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. There's a gasp coming out of you. Again, I think I gave this like 4 stars. Like it's not my favorite book by Frida McFadden, but it's also not my least favorite. That would probably be The Surrogate Mother. But every other book that I've read by her has either been on Kindle or like an audio from the library. So I think that's my go-to. And I think that's the way I like to hang out with Miss Frida McFadden. The last one is another one that I feel like is going to create a gasp. It is The Silent Patient. People love this book. People hype this book. This book is like treasured and loved, and everyone's like, oh my god, the twist. I was a little underwhelmed, and I feel like because I went in with such high expectations, my enjoyment of this book was a lot lower. And I think because of that, I have like beef. No, I'm kidding. I don't feel joy when I look at this, and I want every book on my bookshelf to bring me at least a little bit of joy. Or sadness, wonder. I understand that not every book was meant to be like joyous, but I have a bad experience with reading that, and I think that's the difference. Again, I can think of someone who might like this. So those are the 17 books that I am getting rid of, and the 2 that I am putting myself basically on a leash and saying, hey, if you don't read these by the end of the year, you're gonna have to depart, bibs. I'm sure there's a couple more that I could have gotten rid of if I tried hard enough. Like I can think of a couple that I probably should separate from, but I'm not going to for whatever reason. When the time is right, I will. And this is actually like my very first book on hauling of my adult life. Like I used to buy books and get rid of books a lot when I was younger, and I was like really into reading like the Junie B. Jones and the Goosebumps and the Kitty Kazoos of the world. So I don't have a lot of my childhood books because I would like give them away to people like, oh, I'm done reading these here. But that's what these are. Not all of them are bad. Some I found enjoyable enough to give it 3 stars. Some I found unenjoyable. Some I found bad enough to DNF. But books are subjective because they are art. Everyone is not going to have the same opinion, and that would make it boring. So if you loved any of these books, don't come for me. You know what? Actually, do come for me. I would love the engagement in the comment section below. I want something that's horrible. I mean, I was like cleaning my shelf, and I was like, oh my god, I finally have space. Yay. And then I caught a bunch of books yesterday. I'm like, oh my god, my shelves are filling up again. But that's good. That's good because they're filling up with things that I find enjoyable. I am liking. Unlike some of these. I have friends, family members that can have these, and anything that they don't want, I'm gonna see if I can donate either to the local library or like maybe a thrift store. I don't really have thrift stores near me. That's a lie. I do, but I don't even know if they have books. Like, I've only been inside them a couple times. I've only ever seen like clothes and furniture. I'm sure they take books. Do all of them take books? I don't know how it works. Regardless, this was just a quick little video of some books I wanted to unhaul because I enjoy watching unhaul videos almost as much, if not more, than I like watching book hauls, because I feel like what people not only keep but what they get rid of is very interesting. As we have established, I am bad at outros. There's like little lint because I was wearing a cardigan before. We've established I'm bad at outros, but it would be great if you liked, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you are a book unhauler, or do you just like keep every book even if you hated it. Because prior to this moment, really, That was me. But now I'm realizing space is limited and I have a very large physical TBR. I was counting books and it's like, why is there like, I think like 70 books on that shelf that I haven't read? That is not okay. I would put myself on a book buying ban, but I'm gonna break it, so why even bother? Okay, bye!